So I'm going to show you today how you can use AI voice agents to increase your revenue and increase the work solutions that you do have within your business. Now, we're going to talk about voice agents and voice assistants. These voice assistants are being used by property operators to make calls to estate agents, to book appointments, to chase their tenants for rent. And in some cases, they just set these voice agents working overnight, 24/7. And you can imagine doing work in your sleep. These machines are out there earning you money and solving some of your problems. Now, the key thing with voice agents is the amount of time that it frees up for you to focus on the things that would actually make you more money, like connecting with other people and networking. So it's all about talking less on the phone and earning more, because you're spending more time, all that free time, chasing new avenues, new angles, and trying to increase the bottom line for your business. So how AI voice agents help is they make calls, they process different calls, they analyze the calls and the sentiments within the call, and they can give you an idea as to how the call went, and you can decide from that point how you'd handle the follow-on. So let's, for instance, say that you have a voice agent that phones a potential property seller, and that seller says yes, they're ready to move and they would accept low offers or some offers. Then that information will be passed back to you automatically, and you can decide at that point what to do. You can even automate what happens at that stage. So it's all about automating calls, doing these admin tasks that take your time but don't really add a huge amount of value if you could outsource that to somebody else. Now, some people use VAs for this, others would use technology. The great thing about technology is it doesn't need time off. It would follow the script as you've written it, and it would continue to work through the night and through the day, and it's able to handle more calls than humans could possibly manage within the same space of time. So you can use it to book appointments, you can use it to nurture your clients, and you can use it to qualify your clients. The key thing is consistently following up with these with your clients. Now, what is the problem that these voice agents are solving for estate agents and property sources and landlords? The key thing is you are trying to chase sellers if you're trying to grow your portfolio, or you're chasing sellers if you're trying to sell more properties in your estate agency. And sometimes you start adverts, or you start a campaign on something like Facebook and you get a lot of leads. The problem is those who wait till they get around to every single lead end up losing that lead. The people who get the lead and convert that lead into a customer are those who call the lead immediately. Now, from my experience, we've run ads on Facebook, and we found that those we called straight after they completed forms on Meta, they're the ones that actually remembered completing the form, because many people just complete forms blindly and don't realize that they're actually completing somebody's request or somebody's survey. And we found that if you don't call them immediately, they forget that they actually completed the form, and they forget what the whole thing was about. But in our case, we contacted them immediately. They pressed submit on the form, and we were able to convert a lot of those to attend a course that we're holding. So we had 40% conversions from people who completed forms from near zero. So that's a huge improvement from what you'd get if you don't chase the client immediately. So you're missing follow-up calls, you're not handling those leads correctly, and ultimately, if you have too many leads, you get to the point where you're overwhelmed and you want to start hiring staff. If you hire staff, you have to train them, you have to give them scripts to follow, and you have to hope that they follow those scripts, and you hope that the person you hire is able to fulfill the role. So there's additional work to do. And then what if your business is able to handle all of this by itself? So your business now in this context is your business plus some AI assisting you and some voice agent doing some work for you in the background. So you'd have no more voicemails of people phoning your line and nobody answering because you've gone home or because it's a bank holiday. Your voice agents can pick up the phone regardless of time. So you'd have no more callbacks and waiting to call back, or you have a lot of voicemails and no one's listening to those voicemails because there are just too many on the answer machine. And worse still, sometimes the voice machine is full and nobody can leave any more voice messages. So that's just one of the worst extremes, and I've had that multiple times. I'm sure you've had that if you phone agents sometimes out of hours. And if you've got tenants and tenants have an emergency and they call a line and they can't get hold of anybody. Now, some people think that it's okay, it's par for the course, but it's not right. It's not great customer service to your tenant, and they could be in an emergency and you're not there to assist them. And typically you'd have in your contract numbers they can phone when things are really bad, and you're not there to answer. So you want a voice agent that'll be there to at least answer the initial call, triage the issue, categorize it, and then route the request to the relevant engineers or the relevant suppliers. In some cases it might say let's wait till the morning because it's not that urgent. In others it will just handle it straight away and pass it to your handyman. So imagine your own voice agent is making your calls on your behalf, is qualifying your leads or your sellers, and is booking viewings for you before you even wake up in the morning. So what's a voice agent? So a voice agent is essentially an assistant. It's not a robot, it's not a chatbot, it's a natural sounding agent. And these agents can have different accents: Scottish accent, UK accent, English accent, any kind of accent you want. And yet there are multiple characters that you can pull in. In fact, you can clone your own voice and have your voice agent speak in your own tone. And imagine how amazing that is, where your voice agent speaks in your tone, and then when your clients call back, they hear the same voice speaking back to them. It can be confusing, but for a lot of cases where these voice agents are built correctly, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But the best practice is obviously to inform them that what's speaking to them is your assistant, and it can gather a lot of information. So it can make those calls, it can hold real conversations on your behalf, and it will remember details and take action when you have programmed it in correctly. So it sounds human and it gets things done. So here's the first use case that one should consider. Let's say you're a property sourcer and you have dozens and dozens of properties. Right now, what you do is you go through all the list of properties you get and you try to decide which ones to call. And sometimes you don't even know which one to call because a lot of the criteria are probably met and you have too many, or in some cases there's some edge cases or some nuance to each one, and you'd want to speak to a lot more than you're capable of doing. Guess what? I'm going to show you a demo of a property sourcer's voice agent that we built for them. And this voice agent started making calls and was able to start booking appointments for the property sourcer. So guess what the problem then became? How do you handle all the calls that are being booked? So this is where a lot of the categorization and the qualification of the different leads comes in handy, because you have to then set the upper limit for where appointments should be booked and it's urgent and immediate, and then you reduce the priority as the time goes. So is the property still available? You want to know that. If they phone the agent and you have to press one to go to sales and press the another to go to rentals, the voice agent handles all of that on your behalf. So you can ask those pre-qualifying questions that you need answered in order to run your property sourcing business. And then on the other hand, you can listen in to what is being said. Now, listening in has two forms to it. Now, we can have it in such a way that during the call you can be part of it in some way, but typically you just want to set the voice agent off, give it 100 phone numbers, and it will go off and make those calls. So I'm going to show you an example of one from that called a property that's listed for Mackenzie Road. So I've put my number as the number to call, and let me show you what that looks like. Just go here. So here's a sheet containing different properties that a property sourcer would typically call with a link to Rightmove. Now this is what the workflow looks like. So it pulls in from the Google sheet the number, the link to the property, in this case Rightmove, and it then makes the call. So let me call my number because the estate agent won't be there and we don't want to spam anyone, but let me dial mine and I'll put that on speaker so we can hear what's happening. So I've pressed run once and it should come in. Okay. Okay, so that's it. It's called me. Put it on speaker. Hello?
My name is Raj. I'm interested in your property on Mackenzie Road.
Yes, what do you want to know about it?
Hi there, my name's Raj. I source investment properties on behalf of a few clients, and I came across the listing at Mackenzie Road you've got. Do you have a quick moment to chat?
Yes, let's talk. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Great, thank you. First, is the property still available? And can you tell me a bit more about the condition of the flat? Has there been any recent refurbishment or any structural issues I should be aware of?
Yeah, so the property is still available and it needs a lot of work.
Thanks for that. Is the property currently tenanted or is it vacant? And do you know how long it has been on the market?
It's vacant. It's been on the market 3 months.
Got it. Has there been much interest or any offers made so far?
No offers.
Thanks for the info. Can I ask, is this property a repossession or a cash-only sale?
It's a cash-only sale.
Do you know the reason the sale?
It's a cash-only sale.
Thanks for clarifying. Do you know the reason the seller is looking to sell, and is there any?
Okay, so all of those questions it asks me are the questions that we've defined that it should ask. So each property sourcer may have his own or her own list of questions. Now, this is trying to capture as many questions as we can and as many answers as we can. And then every single question that's been asked will be logged within our CRM. And then all of that information is then used to qualify the client. So if I'd kept on with the call, it would have gotten to the point where it says, is the seller open to offers? And if the seller is open to offers, yes, we go ahead and that's a positive. If they're not open to offers, then the call takes a different direction. So that's the voice agent calling out. There's also the option of the voice agent receiving calls, and we'll look at that shortly. So that's the second use case I wanted to talk about. Now, there's a couple of things with voice agents and any AI tool. The tool is just as good as the information you provide it with, the data you provide it with. And we've developed solutions where when somebody calls a voice agent, the voice agent already has information about the very last conversation they had, about a previous conversation. So when the person's calling, and I'll call in a bit, it'll be saying, hello, Simon, or hello, whatever your name is. Are you calling about this or are you calling about that? And you can be flexible about how you guide the agent and what it should talk about. So this is next level because the agent has some memory and it feels more human, because then when you're phoning it remembers the last things that you discussed and it weaves it into the conversation. And then part of that whole transaction is that it makes a call and it books appointments and it sends you relevant information. So rather than carry on talking, let me phone the voice agent and show you what that's like. So picture this: you have a voice agent in your office or within your business. You've given it a phone number. People can phone that number and complete the transactions that you want people to go through. So I'm just calling this now. I'm going to make it speaker. Hello.
Hello, Simon West. Thank you for calling Hamilton James. My name is Sarah. Are you calling to complete your viewing for 5 Terrace Road, Belsize Park, London, NW3?
Yes, I am.
Perfect. Let's get this sorted. Can I confirm the phone number you're calling from?
It's the same one that I've called from, so you've got that on your system.
Got it. Now, the date you'd picked earlier was May 23rd, 2023, but, well, that's in the past. Got a fresh date in mind?
Do you have something for Wednesday?
Give me a moment. Wednesday's looking wide open. What time works for you?
Can you do 2 p.m.?
Hold on a sec. You're all set. Your viewing appointment for 5 Terrace Road is set for Wednesday, June 18th, 2025 at 2 p.m. I'll text you a link in case you need to tweak it later. Anything else you need?
No, that's it. Thank you. So I'm sure you heard the ding, and that's it sending me a text message to confirm the appointment. So It's right here. I don't know if you can see it. It's not coming out too clearly, but it's right here. So send me a text message, and it will send me a link as well to reschedule the appointment if I wanted to. So all of that happens without me getting involved, and if it was an actual estate agent, the estate agent wouldn't actually be in the office or aware that this is happening. So it syncs with your calendar, it syncs with multiple calendars if you have multiple agents, and it keeps the business running even when you're not there. And we can have a look at the calendar. In this case, it's a Google calendar that it would have put the appointment in. Let's go there, and let's go to next week. Yeah, there you go. So you can see the appointment here is booked for Simon West, 2 p.m. So this is what the voice agent is able to do. Take the voice call, book your appointment, complete transactions, go through different workflows, answer the queries, qualify the person that's calling, and then only brings out to you the thing that's most important and the things that you need to be working on immediately. So in some cases, you'll find people that you just need to nurture until they're ready. And then that's all part of what it does. So the results you're actually interested in are benefits to yourself by having a voice agent. Now, if you have yourself a very good voice agent that's well prompted and well developed and well implemented, it would definitely increase the number of sales that you make, increase the number of viewings that you can attend and that we booked. And these would be pre-qualified viewings, not time-wasting viewings. And your follow-up will be almost 100%, because each time somebody makes a call or somebody completes one of your forms through your ads, they'll get a call immediately and they'll get pre-qualified. And the other thing is, you stop feeling like you're missing out on deals, because every deal that comes in has a route to its conversion, or its route to nurturing, or its route to just discarding. So it saves you a whole lot more time. And even if you've got assistants, they can all be part of the solution. So it's all about working without having to hire new people, especially a lot of our businesses can't really afford to take any new person on. But with an agent, given the right script and the right programming, it would foot the bill. So what we've seen today, how to qualify a lead through your voice agent, your voice solution, booking appointments, the very simple setup that I've shown you with the tools in the background that complete and orchestrate all of these workflows. And it's a fairly quick implementation to make based on the experience that we've already gathered through deploying these solutions for some of our clients. So is this right for you? Now, the question you need to ask yourself is, do I want this type of solution in my business, and where would it fit? Now, some people have concerns about it sounding robotic, and some others have concerns about people being upset that they're receiving calls from voice agents. The question to ask yourself is this: are those people going to be upset or more upset by receiving a call that gets handled correctly, or by not receiving a call at all and feeling like they've been ignored? There's a role for the voice agent in your business. So if you source a lot of deals and you're either full-time or part-time, it's something for you to consider. If you manage a portfolio and that's a growing portfolio, you're doing self-management, especially those of us that have HMOs as well as single lets and as well as Airbnbs. I mean, that's just a lot of overhead and a lot of admin. You want things to start taking away your time wasters and admin away from you. So think about that. And then if you waste a lot of time on repetitive calls or calling people and it's having to go to voicemail because nobody picks up at the time you want, that is also something that can be handled by the voice agent. So this is all within your control and within your grasp. The technology is there, it's just for you to use it. Now, if you want to scale and you want to grow your business, some people are doing 10x, some people are doing 100x, whatever the X is for your business, you would need technology. Because even if you had a lot of money to hire a lot of people, you would always get to the point where you've exhausted the ability of humans to make all the calls and to handle all of the follow-ups. And at that point, you need technology. So why not start now and employ people to handle the next level rather than being the first level callers? So what's your next step? Now, for those who have attended today, right, I'm offering a free discovery call so we can understand if the voice agent or voice assistant is right for your business. It's not right for everyone's businesses, but it might be right for your business. We only find out if we have a talk. So get involved, get in touch, and we'll build something for you. Set up a map to getting you to actually testing the voice agent. And what some organizations do is they test the voice agent on a niche aspect of their business. They trial it there, they see how it works. Then when they're happy and comfortable, they then move it to more areas of the business. So something can be activated for you within 48 hours, provided you get in touch today. And there are limited spots. It's only going to be for today. After today will be a discovery call at a time that is available within my calendar. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear it. Let's see if there are any questions on